peanut gallery. Now that we've found out how the killer lured Nekomaru...
Again, I don't remember that. But I mean, I might be wrong. They say some weird things to each
The
other.
number of suspects has drastically decreased.
Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar!
You'll know I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next.
Huh? What the hell do you mean?
You witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that?
So you knew from this point. That's interesting.
Are you talking about that alarm?
The clock alarm, yeah, it's way too much pink. It's way too much strawberries.
Alarm?
And I had to stare at that for hours. way too much.
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
Wait, if Nekomaru died when the rumbling happened, then whoever doesn't have a alibi at that time is the prime suspect. Oh, because somebody would have to push the button for the elevator to move, so he would drop. Hours. Oh god, it was bad. I was like, oh my god, my eyes.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
I remember now. The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room. There was one guy who never left the lounge. We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room.
Who are they talking about?
Which means that person does not have an alibi for when Nekomaru fell?
Well, no, so... Are they talking about Boss Baby? No, Boss Baby found the clock. Never mind, not Boss Baby. I completely forget what I said. Boss Baby came out because he was the one that found the clock and saw him go down the stairs. Soda came out. Gundam came out. Who's the fifth person? Who's the other guy character? Oh, because there was 5 of them, right? Who's the other guy character? We have Nico. Oh man, there's 5 guy characters. I can't think about it. So Akane and Soda are the obvious to be the killers. Akane this is what they really said. She's dumb and Kashi is just too obvious. Yeah, but who's the other guy? Wait, no, cause are we talking about Nacho? Nacho.
Who is it? Who's the bastard?
Are we talking about Nacho? No. Nacho wouldn't be it, right? I'm not by the time right. I'm trying to think. Clover? I'm trying to think who didn't come out of their room. I think it was Nacho, right? Doesn't have an alibi for that time, right?
You're the only one!
Oh my god, really?
The one who wasn't there. It's you, right, Nagito?
That's right, because again, I remember Soda and Gundam coming out when they heard the alarm go off.
That's right. Nagito wasn't there. It was just me, Gundam,
There we
and
go.
Fuyuhiko.
I was like, I wish I could re-see this picture, because I was trying to remember who was in this picture.
You didn't come out, even though the alarm was going off like crazy. You weren't in your room, were you?
If that's the case, where were you?
Sleeping? Are you gonna say sleeping? Because that's the worst alibi ever. Nope, not Nacho. It was a seagull from the beach and got through the air ducts. I knew it, that damn seagull. I knew it was Cherry. Damn,
Please,
Cherry.
say something.
If you don't hurry up and answer, I'm gonna suicide dive you!
Okay, let's calm down. Calm down, madam. So Sonia and Nacho didn't hear it. Yeah, but I don't think... It doesn't make sense for Sonia to do it. I don't know why, but Sonia doesn't make sense to me. You didn't win. I didn't win the video game. I'm sorry, guys. I messed.
If I may be frank, even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
Why?
You couldn't? What do you mean?
It's merely the foolish talk of the weak.
Not only did I not hear the alarm, I never even heard that rumbling sound.
Wait, which rooms were they in? If I remember correctly, the deluxe rooms were soundproof, right? They can't hear in the deluxe rooms, which if I remember correctly, Sonia and Nacho both had deluxe rooms, right? So they couldn't hear anything. Who done it? I don't know, Baker Slayer. I'm leaning towards Gundam or Soda, but I still don't know. You couldn't.
You're definitely fucking lying.
That's why those rooms were soundproof.
However, that is also true for me.
That would make sense.
It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House. But I did not hear the rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else heard it.
Wait, who else had a deluxe room from the girls' side? I'm trying to remember. Akane had the crummy room. Sonia had one of the rooms, right? There's 3 girls. Chia had the other one, right? Chia had the other deluxe room. So how did Chia hear the rumble? Or maybe she didn't. How did Chia hear the rumble if she was in the deluxe room?
To be honest, it's not just them. The
Oh,
same
never mind. There
for
she
me
goes.
too.
So she also didn't hear it. It's because they were all in deluxe rooms. Yes. Yeah, it's ham hands.
I was in a pretty deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it, but it wasn't that. I probably couldn't hear it at all.
Wait, it'd have to be the princess then. Why did poor princess? Princess, never mind.
Hear it? What does that mean?
It's because the rooms are
Still
soundproof.
don't know. Think about what the 3 of us who didn't hear a sound have in common, and I'm sure
It's the
you'll
room.
figure it out.
I don't think it's suicide. That doesn't make sense. The people who didn't hear the rumbling noise were Nacho, Sonia, because again, he doesn't seem like that kind of person. He was too like, what do you call it? It doesn't make sense for his character. But I thought the same about Sakura too when she got rid of herself. The secret is what these 3 have in common. Could this also be the secret that points to the killer? What am I doing? Oh, I'm doing a gambit, aren't I? Is it a 4-letter word? Deluxe room, right? A deluxe bed. I need a D. This is not what I need. Deluxe rooms, I think, is what the word I'm looking. Words. He's too chill. He's weird. Oh my goodness. I need an E. Who all had deluxe rooms? If I remember correctly, Sonia had one. Chia had one. Nacho had one, and I think, Boss Baby? I think Boss Baby had one. I think. I'm trying to remember who else had one. I'm not sure who. I'm not sure who the 4th one is. I don't remember the 4th person who had one. I need an E. I need an E. Thank you. That's a lot. That's too many E's. It's like, I needed an E, not like 5 E's. Not. What is with all these R's now? I don't need a U. Get out of here. Oh, give me this. Oh my goodness. What is with these letters? Give me this. Oh my lord. Oh my god, thank god! I got it! There was too much letters. The alphabet is too big. There's too much alphabet.
Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki. The 3 of you were staying in deluxe room, right?
Exactly. I don't remember the 4th person. I can't remember which other of the guys had one, because I think Neko had a standard room and never forget this is a better hangman. At least the other hangman gave me a couple letters to help me. This one's just like, screw it, go. And then it just taunts me with like 1,500 letters going on at the second. I'm like, stop. I know it wasn't Soda. Soda, I think, had one of the crummy rooms. I think it might be Boss Baby. I think Boss Baby had the other deluxe room.
If I recall, the deluxe rooms are
The guest rooms are divided up by quality grade. The deluxe rooms is soundproof and has excellent air insulation. The standard rooms may have so-so insulation, but it's still pretty decent. And the common room has severe airflow and draft problems. Gundam room? I'm not sure. I don't remember what room Gundam was in.
The reason we could not hear the rumbling noise.
And if that's the case, then why did Gundam come out to check the clock because if he could hear it, if he was in the deluxe room, then how was he able to hear the clock? If that's the case, I forget who was in the 4th room. Plot twist, it's Stuffy. Shh! Don't tell people. That's a spoiler.
That's right. It was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation. You actually noticed that. Nice catch, Hajime. Are you using your ultimate reserve course student talent?
See, I'm not dumb, Nacho. I'm actually pretty smart, plot twist. I miss that man. That character was starting to get really cool, and then they offed him in the first chapter. I was kind of upset. This is a Buki's twin. Oh, not another twin thing.
Now then, you guys must understand by now, right? The true identity of Nekomaru's killer.
Wow, rude, but he's been really mean to the main character ever since he found out that we're not an ultimate.
Hold on a sec. Why does that lead to who the killer is?
Because it's whoever had the other deluxe room. Because they said they heard it, but if they had a deluxe room, they shouldn't have heard anything. They shouldn't have heard an alarm or the crashing.
Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue, and a decisive factor in identifying the killer.
Decisive factor?
Somehow, I feel like I understand what Nikito means. It was Gundam. I feel like it was Gundam in the deluxe room. The killer among us. The killer who murdered Neko. Oh, fuck. Don't you smirk. I swear to God if it's you.
You're the only one!
Oh my God, it was him.
Gundam, there's something I want to ask you.
No, because Sonia didn't hear it. Pal, it can't be Sonia, because Sonia would have, if it was her, she would have acted like she heard it, but she did. I turned away for a second, you dare accuse Gundam? Wait, what, Gundam? Because he had a deluxe room, and he said he heard the alarm clock in the lounge, and he also said he heard the... So he came out of his room because he heard the alarm clock, but if he was in the deluxe room, how did he hear the alarm clock?
When the alarm rang at the Strawberry House Lounge, you rushed over there too, right?
What's wrong with that?
He has a deluxe room, though.
If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it.
Did he want to protect his hammies? Is that why he did? Is that the motive? He didn't want his hammies to starve, or he didn't want people to eat his hammies?
Pretty good job so far.
Why were you able to hear it?
Hear what?
The
I mean,
clock.
you were also staying in a deluxe room, right? Nagito was staying in a deluxe room in the same house on the same floor, and he couldn't even hear it. So why were you able to hear that alarm?
Now that you mention it,
Gundam?
Damn, was I kind of leaning in the right direction from this whole time? Because again, I kind of hinted that I thought it was Gundam from the beginning, but I never got the motive. Like, I could see how he would do it. I never thought about the motive until now, though, because again, like, his hammies would starve after a certain amount of time, and also people started saying like we could eat the hamsters, you know, for food, and he will protect his hammies at any cost.
There's only one possibility. You weren't in your room at the time.
I don't remember the Strawberry House thing much, but I only remember this. Let's eat the hamsters. No, we're not eating hammies.
That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
Gundam, you have some sort of explanation, right?
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko.
Me?
Oh, because Fuyuhiko was in the lounge and you would see him. Doesn't mean you eat them just because they are called hammies.
After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a while. Am I correct? Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right? If you were in the lounge for that long, The killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
Imagine though when the alarm went off, it would have been very, very smart if instead of going to the lounge, if Gundam stuck back into his room. But instead, he made a mistake.
Even though Megamaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
Like putting Nekomaru in sleep mode and tying him up with the wire.
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower.
So they would have been down there before.
Witness Nekomaru. The killer was already at the tower.
Exactly. So if he wouldn't have seen Gundam leave.
And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
Oh, he got
Their
caught.
original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off.
But they made the mistake.
And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in the room. Just like us.
But he
The
wasn't.
best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all, if they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi.
But he messed up. He went to the lounge instead.
Unfortunately, they failed to secure that alibi. Because I was in the lounge.
Stuffy Turgan flipping big brained it. He got I don't know how he does it. From like he gets like the one piece of evidence, he's like, I already know, and I know the motive, and I know how they did it, and I know who it was, and I'm like, what the hell? It's Sherlock Holmes over here. I'm gonna make you a little Sherlock Holmes dragon. He's gonna have a little hat and a pipe and a little monocle. It's gonna be your big brain Durgan.
So the killer couldn't go back to their room, and ended up hearing the lounge's alarm.
Oh, that's right, because the rooms are opposite. The girls' rooms, the deluxe rooms are at the front, whereas the boys' rooms, the deluxe rooms are in the back, so he would have to pass by Boss Baby, so he wouldn't have been able to. They would have seen him. Hey, what are you doing? This ruckus. It's louder than the supreme ruler of the netherworld bellowing for a sacrifice. Don't go making all that noise so suddenly.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died.
I'll explain how I got it, but I will say I missed one piece of evidence right at the beginning and I still got it right. I mean, that's still impressive.
If Gundam tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out.
Exactly. So to just say it louder than say it to himself.
That would have been the worst possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned, that would have been ideal, but
Well, they didn't think. I don't think they thought about that. It's like they didn't think about the whole like noise. But we're getting close. We're getting close to the punishment.
how ironic. The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your clan was doomed.
Gundam? Please, can you at least say
Oh,
something?
because she cares about him.
Answer me this, including myself in my 4 dark devas of destruction. How many ears do we possess?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is he really gonna say that his dark divas of destruction heard it? I like how sassy the big orange one is over here. Like, that's right. We have ears too. That's right. And the silence is cool. When he just like he's just stoic. But Gundam in general is like one of my favorite characters in this game. Gundam's like
The
my
answer
favorite.
is 10. That's right, I possess 10 ears.
But soundproof is still soundproof, Gundam.
That means I have 5 times the hearing of a normal human. The soundproof system here may as well not exist.
Honestly, the fat DD wouldn't count as two. The fat one? That's not nice. He's just fluffy.
Is that your argument?
You bastard. Do you understand the situation you're in right now?
Do not panic. The truth shall now
Oh,
commence.
he's starting to snap.
At the time, I left my room to go to the bathroom. By coincidence, I heard the alarm.
Oh, maybe not.
That's
Trying to-
right. That's all
trying to cover
it
himself.
was. The world is always so simple.
Are you saying it was just a coincidence? Isn't that timing a little too perfect?
A little bit.
And yet, I'm being suspected by all of you. It seems it was actually horrible timing on my part.
I see. You're still holding out.
Damn, yeah, it seems a little too coincidental.
Well, you don't have to admit it. We're going to decide who the killer is with the majority vote anyway. So, why don't we just go ahead and start voting? It's obvious that Gundam is the killer.
Hold on a sec.
Yeah, even Hajime's like, wait. Jimmy's like, wait.
You know, Hajime, this class trial, this killing, it's merely the opening act, you know.
After like 8 or 9 people have died, you're saying now is the opening act? Really? Guys, hear me out. Nacho's hair color killed Neko. I don't think so.
Hey! What do you mean the class trial is just the opening act?
He's like the least even though I don't like him and I don't trust him, he's like the least sus person, unfortunately, right now.
Perhaps I should say, it's just a farce.
What does
Just
that
a
mean?
boring farce. So boring, so stressful. I'm so painfully bored that I might develop stomach ulcers.
Well, that's a little overdone.
Seriously. Let's just hurry up and finish this before I collapse from poor health.
Really. So dramatic. So dramatic.
Nagito, something definitely happened to you, didn't it? At some point during the investigation, your behavior became even weirder. What actually happened? Did you discover something?
Yeah, about you, Hajime. About you, Jimmy.
Well, let's just leave that fun for later. And finish this opening act already.
Oh, it has to do with the books he got.
You said opening act again!
Oh, he getting pissed. Monokuma getting a little pissy.
Please hold on. We have yet to hear Gundam's rebuttal.
Monokuma needs a sneakers. He doesn't
But
have
he's
one.
completely shut up. Perhaps he can't argue anymore.
Gundam!
I was simply at a loss for words after being dumbfounded by your pathetic assumption.
I mean, Nacho's hair is pretty queso. I like when somebody said, I don't remember who it was that said his hair looks like queso blanco. That's why we call him Nacho.
In fact, I shall deny the very basis. Your assumption has been wrong since the beginning.
That or it looks like whipped cream, so it makes sense for his name, and I was like, oh no, now his name will forever stick.
Since the beginning?
Based on your assumption, I hung Nekomaru from the 4th floor of the tower and made the floor descend to the 1st floor. From there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm at the lounge went off, correct?
He used his hammies.
Although going to and fro is busy enough as it is, how would I be able to travel between both houses anyway?
Hammies? Also, if he had done the life-threatening game, he would know about the shortcuts and stuff. And there's just chocolate vanilla syrup. Are you hungry, Navy? There's a lot of food. Don't make me hungry, now I'm hungry.
I see. The contact elevator was broken.
Don't make food references.
As I recall, the killer tampered with the Grape House control panel, which shut down the elevator. Plus, the stopped elevator should have been facing the Grape House side. If so, the human who used the elevator would have left it at Grape House. For these reasons, it's an indisputable fact that the killer destroyed the elevator at Grape House.
Ice Pebbles, no.
What's wrong with that? If the elevator was broken at Grape House, you wouldn't be able to return to Strawberry House.
Oh, that's true. They would be I still think innocent.
However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing.
But the hammies.
Which means your assumption is clearly wrong.
Are you serious? And here I thought it's already been decided.
Have you learned your lesson, pitiful humans? You cannot overcome this contradiction.
I like the one Hammie's always sleeping. The Hammies did it, not Gundam Ultimate Punishment for the hamsters. You imagine? Gundam would be so sad if the Hammies got executed and not him. That's wrong. When something is obviously wrong, that's when a contradiction is born. There's no such thing as a contradiction that can't be overcome. Are we doing the battle? No, we're doing an argument. I thought this was the final battle, the final statement. Goodnight button, wall clock, broken doorknob, goodnight button. Ooh.
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses.
That's wrong. This is wrong. Right? That's wrong.
As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
How much
That
longer
right
do you
there.
plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already?
It's a secret passage and Cody's over here. The other voice actor was very sad during this part. Was he? Why was he sad? Because his character was dying? I mean, I'd be sad too. A contradiction is when something is obviously wrong. You can't shoot there. I can find out what that is for the sake of everyone's help. I'll shoot that contradiction.
That elevator was
None of these fit. None of these fit. I don't think it's a
only means
truth
of
bullet.
travel between the two houses. As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
I know what I have to do. Hold on.
Plus, the
I have to
elevator
grab
was
one of those statements, but I grabbed the wrong one.
broken at Grape House.
Not that.
if the killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Not a compliment. I mean, on this we're kind of the
There's a
hammies.
secret passageway.
Give me this. Give me this. Give me this. Give it. Give.
How much longer do you plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already? That elevator was the only means of travel between...
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say I figured what it was after I thought about it for a while.
No, there should have been another way to move between the two houses without the elevator.
Such a method does not exist.
Well, Nacho apparently teleported. Eat the hamsters. We're not eating the hammies.
Then why don't we ask the person who actually used that method?
Nacho. Oh, well, I wasn't ready. I was drinking water.
You're the only one! Nagito, you should know.
You're right. It's one of my favorites. I prefer the more intense track in the franchise. So I like the execution. Again, I like the execution songs. Like the execution songs from the first game were really good. Then you probably like Scrum Debate. Oh, that's from the third game, right, Pebbles?
What are you talking about?
Don't play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right?
Nagito, why are you here? Because I showed up.
There's a secret passage connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the third floor of Grape House.
What is Byaku's ultimate? He's the ultimate prodigy, or the ultimate? He's mostly the ultimate rich boy. Yeah, there we go. I was gonna say the ultimate rich boy. So much hype. Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that the song from V3? Because I think you talked about that you like that one too.
Isn't that
The
right?
Scrum Debate.
Jeez. Once again, I let the reserve course show up. But you're right. There's a door on the floor of the
Oh, I
Octagon,
see.
which is
What's
on
going
the
on?
first floor of Strawberry House.
He doesn't like that somebody that's not an ultimate is showing him up. If I'm not an ultimate, why am I doing so well, kind of thing. Yeah, thank you, thank you, Cody. That's right. That's what it was. Ultimate prodigy, affluent. Asshole. He was an asshole in the first game. He's the ultimate asshole. But his character development got so good in this one, and then they killed him in the first trial, and I was like, no.
After I opened the door and went down, surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma Archive, which is on the third floor of Grape House.
Meaning the third floor and the fourth floor are actually connected.
This is funny. They were riches. They was pretty cool. The trials are interesting. The plot is not as good. I'm still really curious how they're gonna end the series, or like how that one's gonna go. I'm still really curious.
Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through it as many times as you want.
If they used that secret passage, they could have gone between the two houses as much as they wanted.
Infinity Unlimited Flame!
Oh, really? You want to try this with me?
However,
I love this series.
Unaware of the existence of the final dead room.
Again, I think the reason I like this so much, it reminds me a lot of Death Note, kind of the battle of the minds. I mean, not as much, because I know they were a little bit more big-brained in Death Note, but it's still like that whole like mental mind game where they're like the battle of the minds. I like that, and I think that's why I like this so much.
There's no way they didn't know.
That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion. If you value your life, you should stop with your scrutiny.
There's no way I can stop.
Did you say?
Well, some of the deaths in V3 are so stupid that the way they happen. Yeah, there's been a couple. Well, I mean, I didn't like Celeste in the first one, and I didn't like Mika's in this one. So I mean, there's a couple that I do. Characters aren't as good. Yeah, that's what a lot of people said, that the V3 characters are not their favorite. Again, so far, Sakura and Gundam are like my two favorites.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
I thought we were friends. I even have your underwear. Yeah, but it still doesn't make 3D. That's true. But it is hard when you can't relate to characters too. Or like connect with them. Tipped over pillow fragment. Oh.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes.
Oh my god!
Provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say. Your decayed illusion.
Oh my god!
You to the progeny of vile deities?
I can't back down! I already proved the secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning.
But you could only get the wire from the secret room.
To the Octagon. Don't bark, you cur!
Because that's the only place you could have gotten the wire.
At least pray to the key which dwells in the light.
Fuck, I hit the statement. I didn't mean to do that. I want to say an example, but spoilers. Yeah, try to avoid just a little bit. Try to avoid spoilers. V3 has some real Final Destination vibes with them deaths. I mean, the whole game is kind of like, there's some weird deaths that like relate to their talents that's like really like Final Destination. I accidentally attacked the statement and I did not mean to.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom...
Allow me to cut through those words!
Because that's the only spot they would have been able to get the wire.
The wire used to string up Nekomaru's body.
I still think my favorite punishment so far, even though it's really sad, is Pecco's. I think it's because it's sad that it's so good. Because that had a lot of meaning behind that death. That was probably my best favorite execution. The deaths are characters Kogi's is a bad story. I mean, not all characters are gonna be perfect. And again, we'll see. Again, we'll see.
The hammer that looked like the weapon, and the chain on the door in the tower. Those are all the items that weren't in Funhouse. Where did the killer obtain them?
Oh, that's right, the chain. I forgot about the chain and the hammer.
The only place I can think of is the Octagon. There were various weapons and tools there. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like wires, hammers, and chains too.
I still think the saddest death-wise is Sakura. That was really sad. Again, Sakura's still best MVP in my opinion. She did a lot for her family, and for her friends. It was really sad.
Since those items were used in the crime, there's no doubt that the killer went to the Octagon.
Listen, we can stop talking about free freezers. Yeah, I'm gonna play it soon. So we'll get there at some point. Some point soon. I know I still have to do Despair Girls and watch this anime, but Pebble's right. I'll get there at some point. In a month, probably. Probably at least a month or a month and a half.
If that's the case, they obviously know about the secret passage too, right?
Oh, even the Hammies look stressed out.
Seems this is the end. Normally, we'd end up listening to Hajime lecture us with a very long summary of the case. But there's no reason to waste any more time on this opening act. So I'm going to end this right now.
It's not your time. I have to do my manga story.
Hey, what do you...
I need to do my book. This is a process that I go through.
First of all,
don't take this from me.
By messing with all the clocks in the building, Gundam tried to lure only Nekomaru. The elevator was probably broken by that point.
He's
Thanks
taking my
to that,
moments!
Nekomaru wasn't able to go to Grape Tower, which was supposed to be the meetup point. So he tried going over to Strawberry Tower, just like we did when we found out the elevator was broken. Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that. At that time, we didn't know the two towers were the exact same place. Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken, so he was easily able to enter Strawberry Tower. But surprise! Gundam was waiting for Nekomaru's arrival.
Hold on. If Nekomaru didn't go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer have done then?
Excuse me, Monokuma, I'm not killing him, I'm just teaching him a lesson. Give me a second. In the V1 manga, Leon tries to confront Sakura, but still commits oof, and everyone sees Leon walk out. Yeah, I was gonna say, I've heard that it was like the murders are very different in the manga. Very different. It's this not Sakura, Sayaka. Oh, Sayaka. Is it, I was gonna say, I thought it was Sayaka. I was like, unless it was very different in the manga. Hold on, if Neko didn't go to Strawberry, what did the killer have? What would a killer have done
Their plan was
then?
a balancing act of uncertainties, but even if they failed, they probably wouldn't have minded.
So there was a lot of ifs in this. Dagon manga is pretty good though. I'm not a big reader. It's just not my thing. It's not that it's just not my thing. I like video games, the storytelling of video games and movies better. That's just how I am. I like audiobooks. I'm just not a big fan. You know how I am with words. Words are hard for me. Manga, not canon, but is it drastically different, Pebbles? Is it like the stories are drastically different?
They can just greet everyone the next morning as if nothing happened, and come up with a different plan.
And just keep trying their plan over and over again until it works. Words are hard. Words are big hard. Starfish hair fortune teller guy dies first. Super fat guy has a punishment. Jesus. So wow, it does change a lot. There was a panel with Celeste doing swims like a pro with her costume on. I don't know if that would work, especially I think she'd get a lot of drag with her hair. I'm just saying.
And without such a risky plan, they wouldn't have been able to lure him at all.
I'm going to continue summarizing the case, okay?
I swear I will strike you. No, Red.
Through this, Gundam successfully lured Nekomaru to Strawberry Tower. There's no way he could fight head-on with the robotic Nekomaru, so by pressing the goodnight button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without fighting him.
In the book? Well, I was gonna say in the game, it was Hina that was the ultimate swimmer. That's drastically different. Strangle you, Nacho, I swear to God. Actually, no, fortune teller guy was just supposed to die first. He actually dies in V3 demo that contains no spoilers. Really? That's kind of drastically different. Damn.
Hold on! You... What did you just say? That I didn't battle?
Oh, he let something slip. Oh, he let something slip. He dies the same way Sayaka dies. Oh. So it seems like you told me that each character has an execution even if they don't use them, like you were telling me that. So they just changed the order and who dies and stuff.
What's wrong with that?
Don't mess with me!
Yeah, he a little upsetty spaghetti. Demo's like a gameplay demo without plot game, and that's kind of interesting. So you can get to see the game style, but not the plot. I get punishment is cool though. Oh, I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious how Yamada would.
Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore those words.
Oh, kind of angry. Oh, unless Nacho was trying to lure him out to accuse himself.
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
You fools do not understand! You don't understand at all!
I think they write characters, their execution in the game. So they write the characters and the execution and then the plot. That's kind of interesting. So they're willing to off any character. That's kind of good though, so they don't get a little too attached.
You make me laugh! After all this time, you still don't understand anything at all!
I don't understand anything. What does that mean?
Because of course he's all about fighting and battling, setting up for himself. And when I think Nacho made the comment that he wouldn't battle, it's a big anime robot versus Monokuma. In fact, guy keeps getting hit in between. Then they both shoot like, oh my god! It sounds like what they did with Muffin Man. It was like really like overkill. I'm like, so you're covering him in egg and now batter, and now you're dunking him into a volcano to fry him. I'm like, it's a little much.
It appears I cannot finish just yet. Maybe I'm just a human destined for hell. However, I cannot finish just yet. I cannot Finish!
So angry.
What do you intend to do?
It's obvious! I'm going to destroy your illusory assumptions!
What was her reaction to Leon punishment? I didn't, like, you mean, like, I didn't think it was that. I thought it was, I actually thought it was cool. I thought it was really interesting. It didn't, like, faze me, if that's what you're thinking. I've seen some fucked up, I play a lot of horror games. I've seen some fucked up shit. Leon had the most painful death, in my opinion. And not being turned to butter, you don't think that's pretty painful? I don't know. I mean, I guess because you're being pummeled by 1,000 baseballs. Yeah, that's big child. Every is dead. Now let's draw straws on who gets to live. Oh, was one of the best. I actually really like that execution, and the music to that execution is one of my favorites. Plus, I love how when the first execution in every game, they get dragged out of the room by a chain around their neck. And I wish that was at the start of every execution that they got dragged out, but that they don't do it. They only do it for the first one. He beat to death by baseball. I mean, that's true. But I think after the first, like, 50, you would probably pass out. He probably wouldn't feel anything after that. He would probably be dead by that point. I'm gonna destroy your listening assumption.
You still have more? You still have room to argue?
Your words. You said I pressed Nekomaru's goodnight button. However, that button was on the back of Nekomaru's neck. To press it, I'd have to get behind him.
I think it's called the 1,000 hit death, right? So I think it's only 1,000. So I don't think it's more than, because I think it's called the 1,000 hits, right? I don't think it'd be weird if it's more than that.
It's not easy to get the drop on Coach Nekomaru.
It's even more difficult if it's a one-on-one situation.
Just as I thought, truly frail. Succumbing so easily to this simple argument, it was just a mere illusion.
I don't think it's a sleep remote. I think it's Hammie. He used one of the Hammies, yes, but I am sure he died yeah, no one would be able to stay alive for all 1,000 hits. He probably would die after 100, and then he just passed out. I haven't played this, but didn't we theorize Monokuma had a switch? No, Monokuma went and pushed the button on the back of his head. When the gas was around, like, even Neko made the comment that Monokuma probably snuck up behind him and pushed the switch. So he doesn't have, like, a button. He said that he probably snuck up on him and pushed it.
If you want to set me up as the killer, at least surpass your own human limitations.
The length of execution can be 8 hours, but the culprit will die sooner. The length of it could be 8 hours? Holy crap. Did she get both endings? Yes. Well, I got one. I watched the other one.
That's wrong, Danga. You're the one who's wrong.
Such a wonderful line. However, I cannot say that I'm satisfied.
I got the good ending. I went with the good ending.
Listen well. I shall teach you 2 tips for making someone admit their defeat.
A little fun fact.
First, you must crush them with your own overwhelming power. And as for the other, you must provide a reason that will persuade that human.
I just love that every name of the Hammies is like a pun. There's Champy, there's Champ, Sand, Mega Z, and then Jump. Curie held her breath so she passed out and wouldn't feel being crushed. You're talking about Junko, right? That's why she turns more purple than Makoto, and that's just a theory, a game theory. I was gonna say, but remember she got startled because the thing didn't crush her. Oh no, you're talking about Coco. Are you talking about Coco? I'm trying to remember whose last name was Kirigiri. That was Coco, wasn't it? I got that wrong. That's not Junko, that was Coco. I didn't notice that. No, Coco's actually, yeah, no, that's my bad. I was trying to remember last names. See, I remember them by their first names, not by their last names. I didn't recognize that. I mean, that might be why, right? I thought Makoto got really purple though too, but that might be more stress than anything.
Have not fulfilled either of those yet.
Guess you really don't want to admit it. Then, just as you requested, I will provide an army that will leave you no choice but to be persuaded. Junko had a cool punishment. Junko's was really cool. I liked how she, like, went through every single execution. 6 and 1. Pretty much. Pretty much, they were the same purple. Here we go. Even though I hate this.
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! Show me the cadaver! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire!
Oh, I don't have bullets.
Crushed as David prophesied! For the Tanaka Empire! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire!
Come on.
Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! It's Nekomaru's back. Do you really think I can get behind him so
Four
easily?
star divas.
This is the end.
Got you. You and your hammies.
Even if you didn't get behind Nekomaru, you should have been able to press the button on the back of his
So
neck.
I guessed that from the beginning. I guessed the Hammie's pushing the button from the beginning, so I got that right. I like Hanamaru. Yeah, again, Sakura's still my favorite. Monokuma saying they are the last person on Earth makes no sense. Where does he get these people then? Again, he's trying to create despair, so again, he's lying. We already know that he lies. Or he stretches the truth, pretty much. Just grab them off the street. Makoto's cut execution is cool compared to his in-game. Since he's lucky student, he's being put in a barrel and being struck with a sword, which misses until it eventually hits. That's cool. I like that actually better than what they gave him. I didn't like. It was an okay one, but it was like, really, you're just gonna crush him? Really? I'm like, that's not very unique.
As long as you have the power of the hamsters you keep with you.
So I had guessed the Hammie thing right.
Are you seriously saying he used his hamsters to press the button on the back of Nekomaru's neck?
Of course, that'd be impossible for a normal hamster, but it would have been possible for Gundams.
Because we already know they can push the buttons because I'm at the door.
In fact, we saw that with our very own eyes, right?
See, this is the only reason I thought from the beginning it might be Gundam, because they made this scene very important. Like, they zoomed in on the Hammie pushing the button, and I was like, why would they zoom in on this scene? Unless it's very important, and that's why I guess the Hammie pushed the button in the back. This is what made me start to think that it was Gundam. Emissary of Evil, in accordance with our ancient contract, that the time has come to lend me your aid. Pierced through Supernova Silver Fox Sandy! Yamano-kun was teaching Makoto sex ed, and oh, was he? Oh, that's right! I forgot about that because I wasn't really paying attention. I was just more like watching the giant machinery in the background. Yeah, see, they zoomed in on it to make it important. Ah, I pressed the button? Truly, this is the Skyline limitation art of the Demon Mouse. Soon the door of destiny shall open. And he mentioned it after Boogie was killed in the music venue.
One of Gundam's hamsters retrieved a piece of wallpaper from the baton lighting, right?
They're pretty smart Hammies.
Hey, with your friends and their exceptionally smart brains, it must have been possible.
And also Taka had a cool execution too. He would have been driven across the street being controlled to stand and wave to everyone and not being able to move until he was shot in the head by a cipher. What? That's interesting. So what, they were trying to give him like a presidential or like a government official kind of vibe? Why is it because he's like so honorable? That's kind of interesting.
To secretly get one of them behind Nekomaru and press the button on the back of his neck.
How about it, Gundam?
Like I said, how about that Gundam? What happens if he gets eaten by his own Hammies? What was that? That's the execution. That'd be kind of sad.
Not just myself, but you actually brought up how splendid my subordinates are. I have no recourse but to admit it.
Admit it? Did you say you admit it?
Also moral compass. I guess that makes sense. So like kind of like a military guy coming home. I guess that makes sense. It's still kind of interesting.
It appears I've obtained a one-way ticket to hell.
I mean, it seems like you've been there before, both how you talk and everything. I'm gonna say it takes to tell. I get it, but he said he's been there before.
Fine! Then you must trample me underfoot and advance. Victory can only be built upon a foundation of corpses. You cannot find peace without sacrifice anywhere. Now, trample this life. Trample it as though it were mere trash on the side of the road. Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance with your own two hands.
Oh, do I actually get to do the closing argument? But I thought Nacho took this away from me. Who set the lounge clock alarms? Wait, who set the lounge clock alarms? That would be... Wait, who? Who set? That would be Gundam. Who was in the lounge early in the morning? That would be him. I'm keeping my mouth shut until after this killer's punishment to point something out. Okay, sounds good. What did Boss Baby see? Not that. What is this? Wakes up. Does he need to see? Neko's weakness is his button. That's already used. The wire wrapped around Neko's feet. The killer destroyed after leaving the tower. What was the fake weapon left at the tower? That would have been the hammer. Who gathered at the lounge? I don't have that yet. Why did Neko fall? Because he woke up, right? Oh no. I'm sorry. Who heard the rumbling noise? So I need to go back. I need to go back very far. What was the fake weapon? No, because I don't have the hammer here. Killer destroyed what after leaving tower? Wrapped around Neko's feet. Would have been wire. Neko's weakness is the button. What time did Fuyuki see Neko? It would have been alarm set for 5:30. It's 2:40 a.m. right now. Alarm set for 5:30. It's 5 a.m. right now. So you would have, right? There we go. Okay. I was trying to think. I was like, that was a hard one. I don't think it's this. Oh, it was. The way that was worded was a little bit confusing. I don't know why. So those are done. What was left? Oh, his weakness was the button on the back of his neck, but that's not there. The wire wrapped around Neko's feet. I like this picture with the little divas in the background. The killer destroyed what after leaving the tower? After leaving the tower, that's not right. What was the fake weapon left the scene? It was a hammer. And he should have dipped the hammer in the oil to make it a little bit more suspicious. So then we would have thought it was the hammer, but he didn't do that, so it looked too clean. Who got it at the lounge? That's right. Why did Neko fall? Because of the alarm, right? Oh. Who heard the rumbling? Well, we heard the rumbling, right? So there we go. Okay, so we got third stock. All right, let me just go down. Let me go all the way back so I can start from where I left off. We got everything. This is all done. So if I go back through, that's good, that's good. What is this? Neko's weakness is the button on the back of his neck, right? But there's nothing here for that. The wire wrapped around Neko's feet. Oh no, that's not right. That's not right. That was my bad. That was really my bad. The killer destroyed what after leaving the tower? Would have been this. That's right. Why did Neko fall? Because of this. There we go. That broke. Last stock. Okay. There we go. And just go back a little bit. Just a wee bit. Look at the little Hammie pushing the button. Oh my god, that's super adorable. I don't care if the Hammies did it. That's super cute. A little fuzzy hand. And then we wrapped it around the doorknob.
Here's everything that happened in this case.
Whew.
Let's first go over the many tricks the killer prepared before they committed the crime. First, they destroyed the contact elevator. This separated Nagito and the others in Strawberry House from our group in Grape House. Next, they lured Nekomaru out by himself by turning back all the clocks in the funhouse by 2 hours. Additionally, in order to secure an alibi, the killer went to the Strawberry House lounge.
I like this song. I like every Dagger. I like this song. This is one of my favorite songs in Danganronpa. I'm also curious, how many clocks did he have to reset? It's just the 2, right? One in each lounge?
Set the wall clock's alarm to 5:30 a.m. After finishing their preparations, the killer went to Strawberry Tower with the necessary tools in hand. They obtained these tools from the Octagon, which you can enter once you clear the final dead room.
I wonder if he used the Hammies to help him figure out the puzzles of the final dead room.
This means the killer discovered the secret of the funhouse faster than anybody else. That secret being, Strawberry House and Grape House are actually the same building. On the morning of the incident, Nekomaru woke up and headed over to Grape Tower for a specific reason.
For Tai Chi?
There, Fuyuhiko, who was at the lounge by coincidence, witnessed Nekomaru. According to Fuyuhiko's testimony, that was around 5 a.m.
If it wasn't for Boss Baby, Gundam wouldn't have gotten caught. And I think Boss Baby was a huge, huge reason why we caught
By
Gundam.
that point, the killer had already messed with our perception of time. In actuality, Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru at 7 a.m. That's also the same time Monokuma Tai Chi begins. Nekomaru went to Grape Tower to participate in that. However, because the contact elevator was broken, Nekomaru was unable to go to Grape Tower. So he decided to try going to Strawberry Tower. But the killer was waiting for him there.
Like they're freaking shurikens just smoke.
With the power of hamsters, they were able to
Of
press
ninja
the good
stars.
night button on the back of Nekomaru's neck.
Take my Hammies.
This forced him to enter sleep mode, rendering him immobile. From there, the killer began preparing to use the ultimate weapon.
That's not a very good. That's kind of that's Hammy abuse. Hamper power.
First, they set the alarm in Nekomaru's chest to 7:30 a.m. so he'd wake up. Then they tied him up with a metal wire, tied the tip of the wire into a loop, and hung it on the doorknob. After leaving Strawberry Tower, the killer then destroyed the door button to Strawberry Hall.
My final attack, Hamster. It was super effective.
They did this to keep us from entering Strawberry Tower, and to keep us from discovering the secret of the building's structure that they used to kill Nekomaru. Then, they used the secret octagon passageway to travel to Grape House. After arriving at Grape Hall, they pressed the button to open the door to the tower. When that happened, the elevator-like floor of the tower began descending. And Nekomaru's body was still inside, dangling upside down in midair from the wire. The killer entered Grape Tower to see if their setup was successful.
I mean, it looks pretty successful to me.
And placed a hammer on the floor to look like the weapon, then wrapped a chain around the back door. This was done to make us falsely believe we couldn't enter the tower from Strawberry Hall. With this, the killer finished their setup and tried to go back to their room using the secret passage, so they could craft their alibi when Nekomaru died from the fall. But something unexpected happened. Fuyuhiko, who saw Nekomaru earlier, was still at the lounge. As a result, the killer couldn't return to their room, and with no options available, time ran out. The lounge's wall clock alarm started ringing at 5:30. Well, actually 7:30.
It was so close. If it wasn't for Boss Baby, he would have done it. I think also too, he could have maybe stuck by or come into the lounge before the alarm went off. Like if he snuck into the lounge and said like, hey, why are you up? And then if Boss Baby asked why he was up, he could be like, I just couldn't sleep because I was hungry. Like if he had snuck in before the alarm went off, then maybe he would have covered himself. But by waiting for the alarm to go up, I think he screwed himself by saying he heard the alarm. Yeah, but Boss Baby was done. Yep.
To avoid a worst-case scenario, the killer was forced to appear in front of Fuyuhiko with the others. When the wall clock's alarm rang, that was also the same time Nekomaru was waking up. He woke up while he was still hanging upside down, so he couldn't help but sway his body powerfully. Originally, the loop of wire was only supposed to slip off the doorknob, but because there was a heavier load than expected, the doorknob ended up breaking.
And he slammed into the pillar.
Nekomaru fell from the 4th floor all the way to the 1st floor. It crashed into the pillar, which decapitated him on impact, and died.
What? Why does Soda look happy in that picture? He's the only one that looks so, like, sinister.
The sound of Nekomaru's impact echoed throughout the funhouse.
Not even the killer looks all sinister. Here's Soda, like, smirking.
However, by this point, the killer's plan was about to fail, thanks to the broken doorknob and Fuyuhiko. Meaning, the killer is someone who wouldn't have heard the alarm if they were in the deluxe room. They also wouldn't have been able to return to their guest room, because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
I get that, but it just makes him look so suspicious.
That someone is Gundam Tanaka. I can't think of anyone else but you.
Splendid.
Remember I told you that in his default sprite, he always smiles near the dead, but oh, that's right. He's always smiling. I mean, I guess he's just overly positive all the time, which is not necessarily bad, but it's like, there's a time and place to smile. This is not the time and place.
That was splendid. For a mere human, you did quite well.
Stop. Stop it already.
I'm surprised that Kane hasn't, like, gone off on him. Why is Gundam so proud? He's a very, I don't know. Like, he's always very proud in his actions. Killed a robot feeling good, yeah.
Stop using weird words to avoid the truth. Or I'll friggin' kill you myself!
There she goes. I was waiting for it.
I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe.
And they're standing right next to each other, so there's a good chance she might smack him.
You killed Nekomaru?
Feeling cute might murder. You know, feeling cute might murder somebody. And maybe tomorrow.
I cannot believe something like that.
You don't wish to forgive me, do you feel regret? Then finish it! Cast your impure votes for Gundam Tanaka! My beloved, deadly foes, let the voting time begin!
He's not snapping like the others, though. He's kind of just accepting it. Feel like shooting might strike up a robot? I don't know. Yeah, you know. Yeah. Yeah, he's not snapping like the others. He's more accepting of it. I think I did pretty good this game. There's not many that I got, like, bad. There's only one that I really messed up on a lot. No, there was a couple. Give me my money, give me my money right now. What if we voted hamsters? Only the Hammies died? Well, but the Hammies weren't the ones that tied him up either. The Hammies can't do it. I mean, the Hammies are powerful, but